YouTube. Hey YouTube. The other day, I don't know, I imagine probably all you YouTubers watch the Andertons YouTube channel with the Robin the Captain Chapman, whatever they are. They did a video the other day which I really enjoyed, the best one they've done, and it was the idea of the video was they were going to find their whatever their first good guitar was, like and get the same model. So the captain had got Rob Chapman. His first was a Yamaha RGX 300 or 321, I think, which is very similar to what I used to have actually. And it was like, so he got it for him and was like, here you go, and you can see the guy, this Rob Chapman, he's like he's got his own guitar company and thousands of pounds worth of guitars and stuff, and he was getting this old Yamaha, and he was just like, wow, and you could see it in his face, just the joy of playing the guitar again. And it was sitting there, and the captain's like, yeah, it's got it in cash converters for 60 quid, you know. And it's like, the only problem is it was black, and I know that you said you had a yellow one, and Chapman's like, it's just pure amazing, but I'm going to have to paint it yellow. And then the captain pulls out from behind and goes, well, actually I just spent a little bit more time and bought a yellow one as well. And it was just the joy in his face about it, and it was like, you know, even though it wasn't actually his original guitar, it was just like, it was like getting the yellow Yamaha back. You could see he was absolutely loving it. And actually, interestingly, towards the end of the video, when they start comparing it to what they would buy these days for that price, you know, they were looking at, he was comparing it to like an Ibanez, which Ibanez are damn good, like an RG, I think it was about 350 quid. And it was just like, yeah, it's lovely and stuff, but it's not as good as the Yamaha. And it's just like, that's kind of where I buy all my guitars, you know, because you can pick up a guitar, a Yamaha, for 100 quid or whatever, and it's better than anything you can buy for £400-500 new. It's just like, things have moved on. I think if you buy the really cheap older guitars from that era, the pickups and the hardware can be really crap, but as soon as once you get up to, well, Yamaha are never really that crap anyway. Yeah, so anyway, it's got me thinking. It was I've mentioned many times before on my video, every time I ever had an Aria Pro guitar, it was always, I remember having a bass. I had a turquoise Explorer. Aria bass was the first bass I ever bought. The first one I ever actually owned was like my pal Robert's. It was an old West Tone. I never liked it, and it was one of those ones that I kind of had for 6 months, and eventually it was like, well, you're kind of not going to give me back, do it, just give me 20 quid for it, 30 quid for it, something like that. So that wasn't really buying a bass. The first one I actually bought was this Aria, and it was maple neck, and it was you know, Explorer shaped, and I was in my first band, and it was great. My pal Michael, the guitarist, had like a Jackson Kelly, and we used to have, we did these two spiky guitars. It was fantastic. And then I moved on to my next band, and we were playing like Stones and Cream and Beatles and stuff like that, and it was like, I really couldn't use that guitar, so I traded it in. I was like, I only got 60 quid for it in Merchant City, and I bought an Epiphone EBO, which totally suited what I was doing at the time. It really wasn't anything like as good a bass though, and ever since then, I've got thousands of guitars kicking about. Maybe not thousands, I've got tens of guitars kicking about, and every time I sell one, I'm always just thinking, right, that Aria one, I always regret selling that, because I'm sure it was good. I got sod all for it, so I just always think about it, you know, just take an extra couple of days to think about it before I actually decide to sell it. And I've never actually regretted selling any of the other ones I've got, apart from the Aria. And then, so that was Wednesday, Anderton's put that video up, and I was, you know, said it to my pals, going, look at this, amazing. And then just happened to appear on the Facebook page, the Aria ZZB bass, and it's like getting that thing, you know, where Chapman got the model exactly the same as his original one. This is my original one, I'm 100% sure. I saw it, I traded it in 1998 in Merchant City in Glasgow, and the guy bought this in 1998 in Merchant City in Glasgow. There's a few other things. I was looking at it going, because I've seen it maybe, I remember seeing one about 10 years ago in Victor Morris that had a rosewood neck, and it wasn't, you know, I always remember this one being maple, and I think I've seen maybe one or two on eBay, but not really been interested looking at them. I just imagine actually getting the exact same one, and I was totally on the bottom. The guy, as soon as I said there's extra screw holes here, and he doesn't know what they're from, and as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh man. I remember because it's a stupid shape, you can't lean it up against the wall. I had a sort of 2 screws with a metal pole sticking out like that, like a bike stand, so you could lean it up. So it's like, that told me it's mine. I only ever had 3 neck bolts in it, and back in those days you couldn't just buy a neck bolt off eBay. I didn't know where to get it. I could probably got it in McCormick's if I thought about it. But I only ever had 3 neck bolts, and if you look at these, there's 3 original neck bolts and 1 sort of newer shiny one, and it's like, It's totally, it is, it's exactly the same. Even the pickup, which I always thought sounded shit, I always thought there was no point in having two pickups and a bass because the bridge pickup sounds shite and the other one sounds great. And then what I've now found out is that the neck pickup, the switch was backwards. It was backwards when I had it 20 years ago. That's 20 years that this again borrowed it with the switch going backwards. The bridge pickup works fine. It's the neck pickup is one of the coils is bursting it, so it's working as a single coil. It's these pickups look like sort of P-bass pickups, but they're not really. They're two full size coils like that, but they've only got 3 poles in each one, rather than being, you know, 2 small coils. So I'm in the market for trying to get another one of these pickups. Yeah. So this being my original bass, I can actually do a review of it. 1983 serial number, made in Japan. Turquoise sunburst. It's got this original smooth joint. This is the deluxe series, so it's got gold hardware. The bridge on it's smashing. Totally remember it. You just kind of slot things in from the front. Looks really cool. It's got a dookie there so you can adjust the truss rod while it's strung up, which is great. Got the original tuners. It's actually in very good condition. I don't remember it being in as good condition as this. I think maybe it was very dirty when I had it. Exactly 20 years ago. Just imagine getting back the exact same one. Oh. Anyway, so this is the pickup which I always thought sounded pish. So I never ever used it, and actually just because the pickup's broken. So you put it onto the other pickup, which is actually the bridge pickup. Sounds good. It's like it was never away from it. One piece maple neck. And these strings are just the ones that were on it. I've given it a little bit of a had the strings off. I had the pickups out because actually the bridge pickup wasn't working at all. The actual wires had come off the pickup on the actual coils. I had to re-solder it back together again, so it's all held up with tape and stuff back in below the cover. But now working and sounding great. I'm playing through my wee Project Ray Stag bass amp over there, as loud as I dare do it without making the camera fart. I always remember having this bass in the band. I was saying Michael had the Jackson Kelly, and we both sit like, you can rest your arms on it, on this shape of bass, which is always great. I think I must have used to have it much higher, like I used to, but it's like he's kind of, it's great. It balances really well. Very, very John Entwistle. Now I look at it, I don't think I ever really thought that at the time. Maybe I didn't. I'd be 20. See, back then you didn't really get that many pictures of bands like The Who, so I'd probably only seen a couple of videos, and I had anything that was on a record cover, but you never actually saw. It's not like these days with YouTube where you can just watch so many videos of bands playing these instruments. See, I'm thinking that the bridge pickup sounds so good, I can't imagine what the neck pickup would sound like if it actually worked. Because obviously that just sounds absolutely fine to me for I've only had one pickup. I think to be honest, this was, out of all the basses I've ever had, this was like the only one. I'm trying to think if I've got any. They were like, I've obviously fixed up a couple for selling on, but I don't think I've ever had any basses that were actually mine that had two pickups apart from this one. And now I realise that the reason it didn't really have two pickups, it had one pickup and a broken one, which I just never used because it was half the volume and sounded shit. That's the song "The Comfy Chair," which I played on this bass live in the Cavern Club in Strathclyde Union 20 years ago. So that kind of boils down to now I'm sitting there going, if anyone ever asked me, I'm sure I'm going to have to look up my videos and see if anyone can find what I've been talking about, you know, about the fact that I used to have a good one that I always regretted selling. And now I don't think I actually regret selling any of the guitars I've sold now that I've got this one back. And even then I don't regret selling it and then getting it back. The fact that I got it back is better than if I'd just kept it, because if I just kept it, it'd be fucked by now. You know, it'd be sitting dusty, and I'm sure we'd probably ended up modifying it and all these things. It's like it's pretty much untouched. I think all the damage that was on this bass was done before I got it the first time. So it was like 1983. I must have bought it in 1997. So it was like, you know, it was like 14 years old, and it looked exactly like this. And then 20 years later, it still looks exactly the same. I think cheers to the guy who looked after it for me. I think he did a good job of looking after it. And the one thing I've got now, which I never had back then, is one of these stands, which means you can actually put it down. I even started noticing it, see, when I was talking to the guy in the house, it was like sitting there going, alright, and he was showing me another guitar, and it was like, you just go and try and put it down, and you just can't. You end up just having to lie it flat on the floor. And I always remember that being in the studio, you know, just having it either on top of my amp or just sitting on the floor, because you just couldn't lean it against the amps or against the wall like you should. Okay, so that's enough nostalgia from me. So I got my Aria back, ZZB Deluxe, original smooth joint. As far as I can tell, well, it's all original. I even remember the back cavity. I don't know why it was ever in there. I always remember one of the screws being one that I'd found. And I was a bit worried about it because it didn't have a point on it. Still the same screw. So definitely my bass. Never had a case for it. I've got a case downstairs. I'm selling a 5-string bass that's got a big case. I'm just looking at it. That's a long distance from there to there. I'm not sure it's going to fit in it. Rock and roll.